Hi, I'm Natalie Dueltgen. My team members are Grace Palensky, Grace Gonce, and Taylor Baker. We're from the Health and Science School of Beaverton in Beaverton, Oregon.
While losing a loved one is one of the hardest experiences that most people will ever have to go through in their life, it is also one of the most common. The emotional experiences that someone goes through after losing a loved one are very complicated and difficult to deal with. These issues include, but are not limited to, depression, anxiety, trust issues, and bitterness. This video will outline our ways that we can potentially help someone during their grieving process of losing a loved one.
There are three primary objectives that we have under recognizing, understanding, and finding help. Our primary goal is to make sure that people feel comfortable acknowledging how they feel within grieving situations, and we want to normalize reaching out so they feel more comfortable finding the help that they need. Some of the ways that we might be able to do this is we want to have it so that students are able to build a relationship with their counselors so that it's easier for them to come to them when they are in time of need. Occasional surveys sent out to all students would be an easy way to just find out how students are feeling about things and just predict occurrences that they might have where they would need someone to reach out to them. We also would like that all of the support be easily accessible so students could reach out anytime they feel, so there's really nothing stopping them from getting what they need. And we want the utilization of other resources, so not just talking to people, but it's sometimes easier for people to reach out in certain environments or with certain therapy animals or things like that. The last and perhaps the most important way that we could help students with grieving is mandatory mental health check-ins with counselors, especially if it's an in-person situation, because it creates more of a human interaction and create more of a empathetic environment for the student.
One tactic that we will employ is we will assign each student with a trauma and grief-informed counselor to discuss mental health issues with. Unlike many schools that have counselors, we will have a decreased number of students assigned to each counselor. While many programs that promote mental health mean well, it's a common dilemma that those programs and those counselors simply do not have the time to attend to every student's needs because there aren't enough people involved. In having more personnel that are able to help students, a more trusting relationship has the potential to form between the counselor and the student, which can make open and honest communication about grief, trauma, and mental health possible.
In my life, I've been lucky to attend a school where I knew I was cared for and had adults around me that I knew were there for me. Then as I got older, I got lucky to get the best job ever, where every month they sent us numbers to call if we're ever feeling down or depressed, because sometimes you just need someone to talk to. These constant reminders around me on how to help myself and who was there to aid me made me feel so much better on my darkest days. While counselors can be a fantastic resource, they can't be with you 24/7. So having things as simple as a mental health crisis line written on the back of your student ID card is an amazing and simple way to remind you that there's always someone there for you. Posters around campus with ways to cope with grief and deep sorrow are another way to show that you're not in this alone, and others have these feelings as well. In conclusion, lowering the amount of students a single counselor is responsible for, mandatory meetings and constant reminders of where help is a huge step in helping our fellow classmates through emotional pain they might be experiencing. Death is unpreventable. However, making it easier to accept the loss of a loved one is doable and can positively affect a person's life forever. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate your dedication to HOSA.